At this point, it's just sad how many times I've had to make this message, how many different ways I've had to put it, and it comes off as if you just don't care, or we will never get to a point where things would change. You should think, you should understand that after years and centuries, literally centuries of Black people asking for peace, asking to be left alone, to just be able to coexist and to live and not have any type of harm, any type of damage, any type of hurt or trauma come their way, you would think after a while, out of pure mercy, other races would just accept the fact that, hey, Black people ain't going nowhere. Minorities, people of color aren't going anywhere. So we might as well just live with them. But no, after year after year, after decade and decade, it seems like the hatred for POC strongens. It seems like the connection between us all thins out even more. A couple days ago, the Buffalo shooting happened, where an 18-year-old white supremacist went to a Black-owned business and killed 10 people. He live streamed it to Twitch, and within that video of him killing people, he went around a corner to see a man crouch down as he aimed his gun at him and noticed that this man was white. He apologized and kept on to kill on more people that were people of color, that were African Americans. Like I said, after a while of seeing the murders, the killings, the violence that roam America and the world itself, going on the news day after day after day to see people being killed and slaughtered, you get desensitized as a person. You start to scroll past the post. You start to look at the post as if it's just another day. But the sad part about it is that we as Black people are being killed and we are dying. And it's almost as if I don't know how many more videos, how many more years, how many more decades we as people of color can ask for peace, can ask for just to be left alone, can ask for just common courtesy, for you not to just see us as humans, but for you to like us. In this video, these people didn't know the 18-year-old boy from a can of paint. They were grocery shopping, they were minding their business, and what happened? He decided to wake up and kill Black people that day. He decided that pigmentation was going to be the reason he took a life. Not because somebody was a bad person, not because that person hurt him or did anything to him. He saw color, just like every other white person in the history of mankind. He saw color and thought for some reason his skin was the hierarchy of anybody else around him. Thought for some reason that because he was white, those Black people were beneath him. And it has been shown through government cases how we as African Americans mean nothing to no one. And so I thought using my voice to plead peace, to plead equality was going to work. I thought me saying it in different ways to different people, to different platforms, that people will understand that we as Black people are tired, sick and tired, and that maybe if I said it loud enough, if I screamed it loud enough, and I kept talking about it, that some imaginary switch in these supremacist minds would switch and would look at us and think they've been through enough. We're in a progressive time. Let's just move forward and love each other. You would think being in a year 2022 where technology is the greatest it can be, where people have extraordinary opportunities, extraordinary resources. You would think being in 2022, seeing how far we have gotten from the 50s and the 60s, and then you have stuff like this happen where not just the 18-year-old boy, but people every day wake up and decide to create hate crimes on the minority. So it gets to a point where I'm done speaking about equality and peace. Because no matter if we're in the year 2022 or the year 2045, racism is going to forever run in people's veins. No matter how much we try to teach it out of them, no matter how much we try to beg for them to think differently, to act differently, to hell, even be racist, but just leave us alone. It's something that's going to forever be in the roots, in the soil, in the veins of America, in all countries around the world. It's disgusting how only the minority can be tired of being abused and being bullied and pushed on and taken advantage of. It's disgusting how even the most privileged of the privileged can't just live the lives they have and just let it be that. How people decide that they just want to ruin a stranger's life because they have the ability to, not because these people have hurt them. Seeing this massacre, it reminded me of that Jane Elliott interview that she did with Oprah Winfrey and how she tried to do what everybody else is doing, try to diminish racism, belittle the white supremacists. And I'll never forget a white woman standing up and saying, if we have equality, what makes you think the Black people won't come back and do what we did to them? The disgusting part about that is that she really believed that if we stood equal, side by side, African Americans would take and abuse and kill them just as if they did us. So I want to make this clear, since it's such an issue with leaving African Americans alone, since it's such an issue with us organizing and coming together and trying to live our own lives and trying to mind our own business, since we're such a threat, you have to realize eventually we would say game on. If you think it is okay to wake up and to murder us and to take us away from our families and act like as if we are nothing and treat us as if we are dog shit, after a while you keep beating the fucking dog, we will bite back. Statistically, minorities, African Americans make up way more of the population than white people. Statistically, Black people make up more of the population the KKK has ever been, white supremacists have ever been. And the reason we never fought back is because we had PTSD, that internalized fear that we weren't strong enough, that we can't make a change, that we can't do the things that are necessary to survive. So after year and decade of white people doing the most horrendous crimes against African Americans and getting away with it in a way, walking away from the crimes they have done in handcuffs with no bruises, no beatings, it gets to a point where we're starting to see now more than ever that this system is literally only made for the white man. It is only made for privileged people to survive, to continue without any consequences, and to have slaps on the wrist. When you look at a system that was never and will never be there for you, hold you down, protect you, love you, and give you the same caring as other people, it will come a time where we will unite and we will stand taller than your white hats will ever stand. And of course there's a stigma behind African Americans being so violent, being dogs, being animals, because you know why? Because we have the power to tear you apart when we don't. Like I said, we're tired, we're exhausted, and we have given white people plenty of times, white supremacists plenty of times to back off, to move on with their lives, and to keep pushing. But you've gone too far. You've killed too many. And you live another day to laugh and to joke and to have fun, while many of us grieve and cry and have to swallow the pills that you have shoved down our throats. So I say no more. I say it's time for us to stand up and show white supremacists what we can actually do.